Hello, and welcome to an overview of Mailchimp. This is a quick look at the free version. And today we're just going to spend a few minutes looking at how to navigate the free version of Mailchimp, what that entails, and how best to take advantage of these features. So I was never a big fan of Mailchimp early on, but I will say over the last handful of years, the content that Mailchimp has put out and just a lot of the functionality has really improved. And so I have completely reversed my original thought on this, and I'm all in here. So here's a quick couple of minutes on the Mailchimp free account. So I've already created my account. I went in and I just started a free version. You don't have to put in that much information. And so I'm here on the main page. Now I'm going to go right into the kind of what's here and what's not here. So of course you can create email campaigns. That's like the main feature of Mailchimp. However, a couple of the big things that are missing from the free version. One is the ability to lay out a bunch of future campaigns here with a nice visualization option. You can still schedule emails into the future, of course, but it's a little bit harder because you don't have the project management tool essentially that you can see here. Also, can't send texts. I think you can actually send something via text, but there's not quite as many options. There's no automations, so like email flows, lengthy drip campaigns, you can't do that. And they're pretty easy to work in Mailchimp. I do have a paid version on my actual digital Detroit account, and it works pretty well. I've run a couple of them. They all work like a charm. And then the other thing is, again, you have access to analytics, but you don't have access to the visualizations that come with them. Now, a lot of times with Mailchimp, you see the basic stuff. This is all, pretty fine. And you can create reports, but again, you're limited. The thing that I think are probably best in terms of reporting, though, with campaigns, and I would pull up my paid version here if I could, but I just created this, is that this is where your emails live, and you just go down and you can look at all of the stats one by one, and then you can also look at them over time frames. Now, a couple of the things that the free version has that I think are good is you can still create a custom landing page with a form, which I think is pretty cool. The problem is the automation doesn't come with it. So for example, in a perfect world, you can create a website, create a web page, put a form on there, people fill it out, they get something back. You get the basic, responder email that comes from it. But like what I did is I created a couple of emails that would go afterwards, a couple of follow-ups, trying to get people to convert on the website. That is not available here. I think you only get the first email, the launch email that comes with the form. So that part kind of sucks. Content wise, you still get the email templates. Now I did put in just a general website here. Because now, like many other tools, you can put in a URL and it will try to grab all the branding for you, including the color palette, which is very useful. I haven't actually tried it on the free version here yet. I just did it, but it's interesting being able to do that. Then you have integrations. All the basic integrations are still here. When I look at this, it's all your basic sites, other digital marketing things that you would use. When it says made by Mailchimp, like Salesforce wasn't made by Mailchimp. Salesforce was that's just the integration. It's interesting. It's good to see that because that means that it's created on the Mailchimp, the Intuit side, and not the opposite side. I've used JotForm a lot. I really like that as an integration, and obviously, Canva, Shopify, and I would say Google Analytics is probably the most important one. Mainly because then you can start seeing user acquisition on your website as it's attributed to email and not just direct. If you have any experience with Google Analytics, you'll know what I'm talking about, and you know how annoying that can be, not being able to discern the difference between email traffic and direct traffic. So let's go ahead and get into the email building, shall we? So you go up to all campaigns. You can also go up to create. Again, you don't have much in the way of an automation available to you. You can build a landing page, but we're just going to build an email today. Now here, you'll start with the basics. Where it says untitled, this is just the name of the email. That's internal. That is not external. We can go right in, call it, first email. And then here you have you can send it to people. Again, I just created this, so I don't have any contacts in my account. Usually with Mailchimp, you kind of need to have some people to import. It's pretty simple to do. I won't walk through the process today, but it's among the easier data importing tools I've ever used. I've used data importing tools with about 10 different programs, and this is the only one that is so user friendly that it's almost foolproof. Like, if you've ever used Excel, if you understand how columns work and how filtering works, you'll be able to import contacts. Now, the big thing here, of course, is that you need to have express permission from people in order to import them to your list. When I think about Mailchimp, generally the best way to do this is if you have an existing list from another program and you come over to Mailchimp, then you can go ahead and import them there. When I started, I actually started with like 0 or like 2 or 3. It was me and my mom and a couple of other people. And I just organically built my list through there. But again, I had a paid version. I had a bunch of automations set up. I had a landing page, which is free, I know. Forms, subscription, things like that. So I'm going to bypass that for that. Next, you go to the from. You have a name and an email. So your from name, that should be a person. I'm not a big fan of putting brand names in here unless it's a really well-known brand. So let's just put mine in here. And then the email. This is the email that displays in the inbox. So it's not, it's funny that this says use something subscribers will recognize your company name. I would not do that. Sometimes they do this, like the company name like that, Digital Detroit, but whatever. Then your email address needs to be a legit email address. It needs to be something that you're okay receiving emails to, because a lot of times people think that with mass emails, they can't always reply to. And so they just look to see, okay, where's an email address that looks legit? I'll email them back something. So there's that. They do need you to verify your email, which is pretty easy. They just send a verification email, and then you go in, you say, it's me, and then you're done. Let's cancel that. Now we can go to the subject line. This is interesting because for me, I look at a subject line as, I have some general idea of best practices, but Mailchimp also has their own best practices. So what you can do is if you type something in here, 20%. Mailchimp will tell you how good they think it is. Oh, okay. Yep. It tells you how it did. Now, if let's say do this. Hello and welcome to my email list. See, things start changing dynamically here. Punctuation marks. That's like if you put a sentence. But well, let's go back to where I was before. And then preview text is the pre-header text. This is the thing, like if you're in Gmail, it's that text that displays right next to the subject line. You won't want to miss this. This is sometimes if you can't think of anything for a pre-header text, which is like additional description for the email, save that for last, go in, write the email, and then just copy and paste the first sentence from your email. Generally, you put a lot more effort into the email text itself. And also by default, the pre-header text does just pull the first couple words or sentence from the email. Sometimes you do get like in an inbox, it says like click here or something for the web version. That's when you know that no pre-header text has been developed and you know it's a marketing email. So let's go ahead and save this. You want to have your send time, which you can always schedule into the future. I guess you can't actually schedule it for later with the free version. I guess that's interesting. All right, never mind. I retract what I said earlier about being able to schedule for later. So you got to send it out now. Okay. And then you can design your email. So